I invited my boss to my birthday party. He brought his wife. She was my secret sugar mommy.
Today, we're getting into something, well, pretty wild. It's a story from Reddit, a Today I Fed Up post, and it's all about what happens when your carefully separated worlds just smash into each other. Imagine, two totally distinct parts of your life, totally private, suddenly colliding in the most awkward way possible. So our mission today is to unpack this almost unbelievable social train wreck. We'll look at these compartmentalized relationships and just how someone handles an instant crisis like this.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Beyond just the sheer cringe of it all, it really shows what some psychologists might call identity fragmentation. It's more than keeping secrets. It's like building totally separate selves and thinking they can never, ever touch. This guy's story just perfectly highlights how fragile that setup really is and, frankly, how much mental energy it takes.
That's a great point. So let's paint the picture for you. We've got this guy. He's 28, product analyst, just moved to Chicago. And he's feeling it, Big city, kind of lonely, and let's be real, money's tight. Rent's probably a killer. So what does he do? He makes a seeking account. Not aiming to be a millionaire, but looking for, as he puts it, financial breathing room and maybe some company too.
Right. Which, brings up this very modern sort of problem, doesn't it? How do you meet your needs, maybe emotional, maybe financial, when the usual ways feel kind of blocked? He thought he found the solution, something he could keep, contained. So trying to fix the loneliness, get a bit of financial help, but keep it totally separate from his professional self.
And then Victoria enters the scene. This is where it gets complicated. The post describes her as mid-40s. The phrase used was Hollywood wife who hates her husband hot. So elegant, rich, and crucially, she explicitly wanted a compartment. What does that signal?
Oh, it screams control. Yeah. And discretion, right. For her, this was clearly about making sure nothing spilled over into her main life. Zero overlap. And they're set up for 4 months. Super strict, once or twice a week, always fancy hotels, always her call. They didn't exchange personal stuff, barely texted outside the meetups. She paid for everything, apparently even his phone bill once. It was purely transactional, really, designed to be a sealed-off unit.
Right, 2 little bubbles. But then, fate decides to have some fun. It's the poster's birthday. He throws a small party, mostly work people. And trying to be, professional and chill, he invites his boss, Eric. Eric texts back, cool, can I bring my wife? And our guy, having absolutely no clue, is like, yeah, man, sure, bring whoever.
And that's the pivot point, isn't it? That seemingly tiny, innocent yes. It highlights the risk, You build these walls, but even normal social interaction can just knock them down. He knew he had 2 lives, obviously, but maybe underestimated just how easily they could.
Yeah.
Well, intersect.
And then the moment. The post says he actually squeaked like a chew toy. You can just picture it, right? Total record scratch moment. People are chatting, party's going, door opens, and there she is, Victoria, white trench coat, looking amazing. And right behind her, Eric, his boss, grinning, holding a 6-pack. The collision is happening right there.
Yeah, that's pure cognitive dissonance kicking in. Your brain just cannot reconcile these 2 realities occupying the same space. But Victoria, her composure is something else. Greets people, laughs, totally ignores them initially, like they're strangers. And then, just a tiny little glance later, a look that says, yep, we both know, don't blow this.
Just wow. A masterclass in holding it together, even as his world is imploding.
The aftermath sounds just as bad. He spends the party basically hiding in his own 900-square-foot apartment, just screaming internally. Victoria and Eric stay for about an hour. She gives him a totally normal, friendly boss's wife hug on the way out. He deletes the seeking account immediately after they leave, hasn't heard from her, and work with Eric. Normal, he says, but you can imagine the excruciating underlying awkwardness. It's just such a stark example of how thin those self-made walls can be. That overwhelming awkwardness, the way he had to just sort of navigate it in shock, it's intense. It really underscores the mental gymnastics involved in keeping lives separate and the sheer chaos when they merge.
So the big takeaway here, maybe for you listening, is just how vulnerable those carefully built compartments really are. It definitely makes you think about the parts of our own lives we keep private and, what if those walls came down? Which leaves us with this question, really. When your hidden worlds shatter so publicly, so intimately, what on earth do you do next? How do you even start to pick up the pieces? And what does that whole implosion tell us about the fragile nature of the lives we try to hide?
My wife cheated on me with my sister. So that's a thing now.
Taking a bit of a different approach, we're digging into something really personal, actually. It's a Reddit post titled, My wife cheated on me with my sister.
Yeah, it's definitely raw, a first-hand story. The user even called it one of those wild-ass posts life throws at you. You know, fast and messy.
Right. And with a steel-toed boot to the gut. That part stuck with me. So our mission today is, well, to unpack this whole emotional journey, see what it tells us about relationships, trust.
Yeah.
How messy things can get.
Exactly. And how connections can shift in ways you just never expect. So the key players. We've got the poster. He's 36. His wife, Leela, she's 34. Married 8 years.
And he described it as a standard, slightly too comfortable millennial marriage, which is quite a praise.
Yeah.
And there's his sister, Kara, 32. She moves in temporarily after a breakup.
Seems straightforward, right? Just offering a guest room, a place to land. Leela was apparently fine with it, even thought it'd be fun.
Yeah. Fun to have another girl in the house.
Yeah.
But that's where it starts. How easily does something like that unsettle things, even if it seems small at first?
Well, it's kind of like that boiling frog idea, isn't it? You don't notice the water heating up. Small changes, gradual shifts, especially when it's family, someone you trust implicitly. The boundaries can get blurry without you realizing it.
And what was meant to be a short stay
Turned into 10 months.
10 months. And he notes that Leela and Kara started getting along, like, really well. Weirdly well, he said. Doing yoga together, cooking, watching reality TV after he'd gone to bed.
And he just dismissed it.
Yeah, pretty much. Chalked it up to novelty, sisterly bonding, that kind of thing.
It really shows how much we rely on trust. Maybe too much sometimes. Creates blind spots. We just want to believe everything's normal, especially at home.
Absolutely. You tend to rationalize things away. But then that gut feeling starts.
Yes, the gut feeling. It rarely lies, does it?
He mentioned this one Thanksgiving. Kara got a bit tipsy, started talking loudly about sexual fluidity.
Oh, wow. To his very Catholic mom.
Exactly. And he remembered seeing Leela squeeze Kara's knee under the table, like a secret signal, inside joke he wasn't part of.
Oof. Red flag right there. But easy to explain away in the moment, maybe.
I guess so. What's going on there psychologically? When you see stuff like that, just push it down.
Well, it's textbook cognitive dissonance, really. Your brain hates holding two conflicting ideas. Idea 1, my wife and sister have a normal, loving relationship with me and each other. Idea 2, wait, that knee squeeze felt weird.
So you choose the easier thought, the one that doesn't blow up your world.
Pretty much. You stick to the existing story, the comfortable narrative, even as weird little signs pile up, until you can't anymore.
Which brings us to the big reveal. About 3 months before he posted, he found Kara's iPad. It was unlocked.
And open to messages, explicit messages, saved under the contact name L. Things like, last night was electric, I still feel you.
Just devastating. The whole picture shattering instantly. He confronted Leela that night.
Yeah, he did. And she didn't deny it, said it just happened. Started months ago after some wine. Claimed it was confusing, that she still loved him, but also had, well, feelings for Kara.
Wow. The double betrayal. Spouse and sibling. It's got to mess with your head on a whole different level.
Oh, profoundly. It attacks your sense of reality, your trust in your own judgment, everything.
So the aftermath. Kara moved out straight away.
But Leela stayed. At first.
He moved into the guest room, said their dog, Mozzie, slept in the hallway between them like some furry Switzerland.
Yeah, even the pets feel the tension.
They tried therapy, but he couldn't get past it.
He said something like,
Yeah, the bit about paying someone to help him process his wife banging his sister.
in the room where they used to keep the exercise bike. It's such a mundane detail, but it makes the cruelty feel so real, so specific.
It does. It grounds the absolute absurdity of the situation in something painfully ordinary.
Then just 2 weeks before the post, they had the what are we doing talk.
And Leela admitted she didn't want to fix it. Nope. She moved out. Took half the furniture, the air fryer,
Yeah.
even the good bath towel,
The good towels, ouch!
and left a sticky note asking him to water the succulents.
Wow, just cold.
His reflection on it all is just brutal. Love is a minefield, and apparently my house was ground zero.
Yeah, that hits hard. He's left there, half-empty house, sad dog, trying to make sense of it.
And Kara never reached out. He later saw a picture online of her and Leela holding hands in Seattle.
So they're together,
Yeah?
publicly.
Seems like it.
It's just a profound story. It really shows how deeply trust can be broken, like where you feel safest. In your marriage, with your family.
Absolutely.
It really peels back the layers, makes you think about the hidden currents running under relationships we assume are stable.
So, thinking about this whole story, What does it ultimately tell us about how complex and frankly unpredictable human connections can be? And maybe for you listening, when your whole world shifts like that, when the ground just falls away, how do you even begin to navigate it? Something to think about.
My grandfather has been calling me every few months. Thing is, he died 10 years ago.
Okay, let's jump right in. Honestly, kind of defies logic. It challenges what you think you know about connection, maybe even reality itself.
It really does.
We're diving into this Reddit post. It's from a user on a landline left on, and the title just grabs you. My grandfather has been calling me every few months. Thing is, he died 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And what strikes me is this person isn't just telling a ghost story. They seem genuinely baffled, trying to share something unbelievable that happened to them. You know, dealing with people joking about it or just not believing.
Exactly. And that's our focus for this deep dive. Not just the spooky factor, but the sheer detail. The user lays out these specific, uncanny moments, things that seem verifiable almost. And it raises huge questions about this seemingly impossible connection, a helpful one even, from someone gone for a decade.
So let's get into those details. The first call, this is wild. It comes 2 years after the grandfather passed, through an old landline phone.
Landline, yeah. That detail alone is something.
Right. Late at night, he picks up, there's static, some shaky breathing, and then this gruff voice. He says it's unmistakably his grandfather's. Just says, "You forgot the mustard boy."
Okay, stop right there. You forgot the mustard boy. That specific phrase.
Yeah. Mundane, right.
Yeah.
But apparently super specific to them.
That's the power of it. It's not some generic "I'm okay" message. It's intimate. It's a private joke, maybe, or just a family phrase. It's a kind of recognition cue that, well, it makes it hard to just brush off.
It anchors the impossible in something really personal, doesn't it?
Precisely. It grounds the whole thing. And that makes the warnings that come later feel even more significant, more chilling, like you said.
Still, you know, the skeptical part of your brain kicks in. Coincidence, memory playing tricks. Maybe it's even some elaborate, cruel hoax. What makes this account so hard to just dismiss?
Well, that's where the other calls come in. The ones with actionable, specific information, like the warning call.
About his sister.
Exactly. The voice says something like, "Don't trust that boy who parks outside your sister's job." And the thing is, the user had noticed a creepy guy near where his sister worked at a gas station. He was worried, but hadn't told anyone.
Wow, okay.
So this call comes, validates his private worry, and then, get this, 2 weeks later, that same guy gets arrested for stalking another clerk at that same gas station.
No way.
Yes. And police found zip ties in his glove box.
Zip ties. Okay, that changes things. That's not just a feeling or a coincidence.
Right. That detail, the zip ties, confirmed by a real arrest, it adds this layer of almost irrefutable weight. It suggests something beyond just knowing. It suggests intervention, avert a potential disaster.
Yeah, it moves from strange to actively protective.
Definitely. And then there's perhaps the most impactful call, the one about his mother.
Right, she was very sick, a rare autoimmune thing. Doctors are struggling.
Totally stumped. So the user, maybe out of desperation, plugs that old landline back in. And he says within minutes, it rings.
And it's the grandfather again.
The same voice. Apparently very weak this time, but clear. Just says she's allergic to the antibiotics. That's it.
Just that.
Just that. So they check her medical records, going way back, and there it is. A note from 20 years ago, overlooked, saying she had an allergy to that class of antibiotics they were giving her.
Oh my, right.
They changed the medication based on that call, and she started improving significantly.
That's incredible. Life-saving information from supposedly the deceased.
Yeah.
The timing, the specificity.
It pushes right up against what we think is possible, doesn't it? It's not vague. It's critical, precise medical advice that worked.
So reflecting on all this, how do you even process an account like this? A loved one, gone for years, seemingly reaching out with warnings, with life-altering help. It really echoes what the original poster wrote, that maybe love doesn't need a heartbeat.
It makes you seriously question the lines we draw, you know? Between life, death, connection. If care, deep care, can manifest like this, remembering mustard, warning about danger, giving critical medical advice. What does that tell us?
What does it tell us?
Well, it suggests maybe human bonds are stronger, or maybe stranger than we typically acknowledge. It forces you to wonder about what might exist just beyond the edges of our current understanding. What else is possible? That's the thought this deep dive really leaves you with.
I told the delivery guy I love you by accident. Now he's leaving me notes.
totally unexpected fallout from just one little accidental phrase.
Yeah, it's quite a story.
It comes from a listener's post on an online forum, one of those "Today I Fed Up" threads. Really relatable, but also, wow, super cringeworthy.
Definitely.
And our mission today is basically to trace how that single slip-up unraveled into something way more complicated. It really blurs the line between maybe kindness and concern, right?
Right, and it leaves you wondering about digital boundaries, personal space.
It really does.
And what's fascinating is how it highlights this parasocial relationship paradox you sometimes see online.
Parasocial.
Yeah, where one person feels this connection, this intimacy, but the other person doesn't feel it back at all. It can get really uncomfortable, especially with technology involved. It makes you question our whole digital social contract, really.
Okay, let's get into it. So our listener, she's a 32-year-old graphic designer, works from home in Seattle, and she was having like the absolute worst Tuesday. Picture this. Wi-Fi cuts out during a big Zoom call.
Oh, no.
Clients are emailing saying her designs are too beige. And then the final straw, her neighbor's kid apparently smeared something sticky and unknown all over her doorknob.
Just a nightmare day.
Completely soul-destroying, she called it. So she's desperate for comfort food. 5 Guys, double bacon cheeseburger, Cajun fries. You know the craving.
I do indeed.
The delivery driver, Alex, arrives. Tall, kind smile, totally soaked from the rain, but like super polite.
Okay.
And she opens the door, completely exhausted, basically in this state of burger-induced euphoria, as she put it. And instead of thank you, she just blurts out, love you.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Both just froze. He kind of chuckled, surprised but polite about it. She muttered apologies, totally mortified, and just slammed the door.
Wow. That moment right there. It seems so small, but how does an innocent slip like that, especially when someone's already feeling vulnerable, just kick off such a weird chain reaction?
Well, that's the core question, isn't it? Because it didn't end there. The very next day, she orders pho.
Okay.
And tucked in the bag is a handwritten note from Alex. Hope today's better. Just that.
A little forward, maybe?
Kind of sweet, kind of weird. Then a few days later, sushi order. Another note. Spicy tuna for a spicy mood, with a winky face. That's when she realized, oh, he saved my address.
And that right there shows how easily personal info, like an address from an app, can be, kept and used outside of that one transaction.
Exactly. It's not just an address anymore.
It becomes this potential point of contact she never agreed to.
And then it escalates again one Sunday morning. He just knocks on her door.
Nope.
No delivery order. Nothing.
Whoa, okay.
He's holding a coffee and a croissant. Big smile. Says, thought you could use a pick-me-up. And adds something like, you just seem like you're having a hard week. No pressure. Just wanted to say hi.
Wow.
She's just standing there completely stunned, wearing avocado socks, apparently. Right. And it felt really unsettling. It wasn't about delivery anymore.
No, that definitely crosses a line for most people. Showing up unannounced.
So then comes the ultimate freak-out moment for her. She tries to dodge him, orders pad thai from a totally different app, uses a different account.
Yep.
Even puts in a nickname, Kelly.
Smart move, trying to break the connection.
You'd think. But the food arrives, and on the receipt, another note. Glad you're eating again, Kelly. Alex.
Oh.
How?
That's when she full-on freaked out, her words. Felt totally watched. She deleted all her delivery apps, started picking up food herself.
Yeah, that cross-platform thing is deeply disturbing. We don't know exactly how he did it. Maybe he works for a service that handles multiple apps, recognize the address, maybe some clever deduction. But that level of persistence...
It changes everything.
Absolutely. It shifts the whole perception. It's not kindness anymore. It feels like a serious boundary violation. That feeling of being watched, even without an overt threat, it taps into something really primal about safety and privacy when your digital and physical worlds collide like that without your okay.
So she's left feeling completely conflicted. She thought about reporting him, but report him for what exactly?
Right, what do you say?
He hadn't threatened her. He'd just been, well, a little too much, as she put it. And here's the really strange part. Despite the fear, the discomfort, deleting the apps, she admitted, weirdly, I kind of miss it.
That is fascinating. That little bit of maybe longing. It speaks volumes about, the human need to be seen for validation, even if the attention itself makes you uncomfortable.
It's such a paradox.
It really is. And it leaves us with a pretty big question, especially now, with so much of life online. Where do we draw that line between a gesture that's thoughtful and one that feels intrusive? even creepy.
Yeah.
What responsibility do the platforms, the apps themselves have here? And what's our own role in figuring out these new rules, especially when maybe deep down a tiny part of us might actually miss that attention?
Something to definitely think about.
My boyfriend called me fat in front of his friends, so I added laxatives to his protein powder.
Okay, let's dive in. So imagine this. A relationship story, right? It starts with some pretty mean comments and then takes this wild turn, like really wild. We're talking about a Reddit post today where someone's partner calls them fat publicly, and the response, well, let's just say it involves protein powder and some unexpected consequences. So yeah, this deep dive isn't just about revenge, though that's definitely part of it. It's more about digging into that initial disrespect, why someone might choose this specific kind of petty payback, and what it tells us about, boundaries, self-respect.
Exactly. And it's a fascinating way to look at how communication just completely breaks down. You see the impact of that casual cruelty, but also, well, the journey someone takes to get their dignity back, all from this one Reddit post.
Right. So the story centers on this woman. She's 27, dating a guy named Zach, 29. He's described as a gym bro. They've been together over a year.
And she describes herself, her body image. She says, curvy, size 12, likes pasta. She even has this great line about having thighs that could start fires. She sounds pretty comfortable with herself.
Initially, yeah. But then Zach starts making these little comments, things that seem small at first, maybe.
Like the classic, are you going to eat all that at dinner? Or, let's hit the gym together. I can help you tone up. Subtle digs, almost.
Almost trying to sound helpful, maybe?
Kinda, yeah. But the post makes it clear these little things started chipping away at her self-esteem. It's that slow burn, that death by 1,000 cuts thing we sometimes see.
Until the big one, the public humiliation. They're with his friends. Someone makes a general joke about filters or something.
Right, about girls these days are all filters and angles.
And Zach jumps in. Her boyfriend, he says, tell me about it. You should see what she looks like before she eats a burrito. Instant puff mode.
Oof. Just, wow, in front of his friends.
She just freezes, does this soul leaves your body laugh, she calls it. Felt like a bloated punchline. She apparently made an excuse and just cried in the Uber home.
And you can just picture that, can't you? That feeling of betrayal, not just the insult, but the public nature of it from someone you trust. It really hits differently.
So, okay, you'd think maybe that's it. Breakup time.
Seems like the obvious move, yeah.
But no. She decides to the post says petty. She knows Zach is obsessed with his gym routine, his gain, his protein powder. He keeps it in his car, apparently.
Super dedicated, huh?
Totally. So she gets this idea, buys some natural, odorless, tasteless laxative powder, checks it out first, make sure it's not actually dangerous,
Smart. Responsible pettiness.
Right. Then, while he's in the shower, she adds 2 teaspoons to his huge tub of vanilla whey protein. Just stirs it in.
The planning, it shows you how deep that hurt must have gone, right?
Yeah.
Finding this very specific way to, regain some control.
Totally. And the results took about 12 hours, she says. Then the texts start rolling in from Zach.
Oh, I bet. What did they say?
Stuff like, bro, my stomach is fed. Oh, was that pizza expired? Then I can't stop shitting. I had to leave the gym in the middle of squats.
Oh, my God. Mid-squat. That's rough.
And eventually, I think I'm dying. Poor guy. Well, sort of.
And she's just playing it cool?
Yeah, completely. Yeah. Acts all sympathetic, brings him Gatorade, saltines, even tells him, apparently, that he looked less puffy lately.
Wow. The nerve. He never figured it out.
Nope. Never suspected her. And she only did it that one time. That was enough.
So she got her moment. But then what?
Well, about 2 weeks later, she did break up with him. Just told him straight up, I need someone who respects me and doesn't treat me like a joke.
Good for her. How did he take it?
Pretty casually, it sounds like. He even asked if he could keep the protein powder.
No way. After everything.
Yep, and she just said, sure, you earned it. Perfect line.
That's incredible.
So now she's unfollowed him, living her best burrito-filled life, as she puts it, and says her self-respect now starts fires.
Love that callback. And the irony, she notes, is that he actually did lose a few pounds that week.
Right. And her final thought, the moral of the story. Don't insult the chef, especially if she knows where you store your supplements.
What a story.
It really is. It goes from this awful public moment to this really creative act of balancing the scales. It shows how much words can sting and, well, the interesting ways people find to push back.
Absolutely. And maybe beyond the, immediate satisfaction of that revenge plot, it leaves you thinking, what does it really teach us about drawing lines, about valuing yourself enough to act, even if it's unconventional? Or maybe just leaving sooner. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, about where you draw the line for your own self-respect.
I sold everything I had to invest in crypto and forgot the wallet password.
All right, let's dig into this. We're exploring a truly wild, today I effed up story from Reddit. This isn't just any old internet mishap, though. We're talking really high stakes here, diving deep into the world of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and it's more than just one person's bad luck, right? It's a really fascinating, a cautionary tale. It highlights the kind of intense emotions, the unique challenges you face in that whole decentralized world of digital assets.
Where you're your own bank.
Exactly, which sounds great, but
Yeah,
it demands total self-reliance.
definitely. And the timing is key here. Let's set the scene a bit. Remember early 2021?
Oh yeah, that almost delirious time.
Right, Dogecoin was mooning, Reddit was messing with Wall Street.
And everyone suddenly had crypto advice. Your barista, your uncle.
Yeah, exactly. And that's precisely where this story kicks off. So our protagonist, they're 29, recently laid off, feeling pretty stuck.
Right, low point.
And a college friend calls up, basically says, dude, look into Ethereum. I just 8x my money in like a month.
Wow, okay. That's tempting.
Super tempting. And boom, down the rabbit hole they go. Crypto YouTubers learning all this new jargon, like layer 2 solutions.
Which are basically ways to make blockchains like Ethereum faster, cheaper.
Yeah, all that stuff. Joining multiple Discord servers, it just like took over.
And this wasn't just dipping a toe in. They decided to, quote, go all in.
All in. What did that actually mean?
It meant selling everything.
Yeah.
A 2015 Honda Civic got $9 for it. PS4, 4K TV, laptop, even used Jordans.
Seriously, wow.
Oh, yeah. Cashed out a small Roth IRA that was $6,500, drained savings, took out a $5,000 personal loan.
Jeez.
End result, they scraped together $34,119.47. It's that mix of desperation and, serious FOMO, fear of missing out.
Especially in that market. Okay, so they invested $34K in Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next? Must have been intense.
Intense is one word. Exhilarating, maybe. For a while, it paid off. Big time.
How big?
The 34K quickly became 48K, then 65K. By December 2021, it peaked just over $112,000.
Whoa, over 100 grand from 34.
Yep. They said they felt like the main character in some Netflix origin story. You can kind of see why.
Okay, but with that much money, security becomes crucial, right?
Yeah.
Especially in crypto.
Absolutely. And they wanted to be a real crypto guy, so no exchanges, offline storage.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How'd they set it up?
They used a MetaMask wallet, pretty standard software wallet, and wrote down the 12-word recovery phrase, the master key.
Right, the seed phrase. Don't lose that.
Exactly. But they split it, half taped under a drawer, the other half in an Altoids tin.
Uh-oh. Okay, and the password.
A super strong one, apparently. Written on a sticky note, tucked inside a copy of Catch-22.
A sticky note inside a book. Okay, I think I see where this might be going.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Self-sovereignty means self-responsibility, right? For everything.
So then comes the crash. Early 2022, crypto winter, everything tanks.
Yep. Ethereum plummeted along with everything else.
But our protagonist didn't sell.
Nope. They held, HOD-led, as they say, still believed in the long-term vision even as the value cratered. Show some conviction, maybe?
Or maybe just couldn't bear to lock in the loss. Okay, so they held. Then what?
Then the devastating part. Early 2024 rolls around. Ethereum's creeping back up.
Recovery.
Sort of. The wallet's value is around $74,000. Not the peak, but still a lot.
Definitely. So time to log in.
Time to log in. Opens MetaMask, types in that super strong password. Failed. Invalid password.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, deep breaths, ticky note time. Find the book.
Well, about that, the copy of Catch-22, gone. Donated to Goodwill during a, quote, fresh start purge.
Oh, my God. Donated.
Donated.
Yeah.
The drawer with the first half of the seed phrase replaced. New furniture.
The drawer is gone.
Gone. The Altoids tin. They found it eventually.
Okay, there's hope.
Inside was a Popeyes receipt and a guitar pick. Tin got repurposed. Seed phrase scrap. Long gone.
This is painful. Just gone. No hypnosis, emailing Goodwill, nothing worked.
Tried it all, apparently. Hypnosis, emails, meditation, nothing.
Wow. So the money's just sitting there.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. 7 months later, as of the telling, the wallet's balance is $86,000.
$86,000.
Publicly visible on the blockchain, you can look it up. Tauntingly close. utterly inaccessible.
That's brutal.
It perfectly illustrates that core crypto truth we mentioned. Freedom from banks, yes, but also freedom from customer service.
No forgot password button.
None. No call center, no chat bot, nothing. Just you and your lost keys.
So what's the lesson here? Did they give up on crypto?
Surprisingly, no. Still believes in it, but the password management, drastically different.
Uh-oh.
Writes passwords on 3 different pieces of paper now, 3 different locations, even texts them to their mom.
Okay, that's robust. Maybe overkill, but understandable.
And their final punchline was HODL, more like CRYDL.
Oof, yeah. CRYDL.
I get that.
It really makes you think, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This whole story brings up a huge question about what control actually means in this digital age, especially for you listening.
Yeah, when you were the bank. What happens when the human part fails? Memory organization. Just losing stuff. What kind of trust are we putting in our future selves?
And what happens when that trust breaks and there's absolutely no safety net?
It's a tough question. A harsh lesson about the real price of total self-sovereignty.
Thanks for being with us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.